Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this masterclass. If you are currently an online tutor or you're trying to become an online tutor and you're struggling to get students, then this session is specifically for you. Because today I want to talk about something that many tutors never realize when they start their online tutoring journey. Many tutors believe their biggest problem is competition. They believe there are simply too many tutors, right? Too many profiles, too many tutors, too many teachers offering English lessons online or any other subject. And when you open tutoring platforms and see hundreds of tutors, that belief feels completely illogical. You start wondering, how can I compete with all these people? How will students ever find me? But after observing the online tutoring space for a while, I realized something interesting. The tutors who struggle the most online are not necessarily the tutors who lack knowledge. In fact, sometimes the tutors who struggle are very qualified. They have a degree, they have teaching certificates, they have experience, and they are very passionate about helping students. But despite all this, they still struggle to get consistent students. Meanwhile, another tutor, sometimes with fewer qualifications, is fully booked. Students keep messaging them, students keep booking them, students keep recommending them. So the real question becomes, why? Why does one tutor remain invisible while another tutor attracts students consistently? And that answer has very little to do with teaching ability. The answer is positioning. Let me explain something important about how students behave online. When students open a tutoring platform, they usually see hundreds of tutors, sometimes even thousands. And here is what many tutors misunderstand. Students do not carefully study every profile. They scroll, they scan, they click very quickly, they look at pictures, they read the first few lines of your description, they watch a few seconds of your introduction video, and within seconds, they already begin forming an opinion. Their mind begins asking questions automatically. Does this tutor look professional? Does this tutor seem confident? Does this tutor understand my problem? Does this tutor look trustworthy? And if the answer is not clear, they move to the next tutor. This means something extremely important. Your tutoring profile is not just the profile. Your tutoring profile is your storefront. Think about a physical shop. If you walk down the streets and see two stores, one looks clean, organized, and welcoming. The other looks messy and confusing. Which one would you enter? Most people would choose the one that feels clear and professional. Online tutoring works exactly the same way. Students choose who feel trustworthy and clear. Now, some people believe there are no students looking for tutors online, but that's not actually true. Every single day, students are asking questions like, can anyone recommend a tutor for me? Is there a tutor who can help me improve my English? Is there a tutor who can help my kids practice mathematics or learn mathematics? Does anyone know a tutor for speaking practice? You can see some screenshots on my screen. These are just a few examples. Students are asking for tutors every single day. The demand exists. Students are searching. Students are asking for help. So the real problem is not absence of students. It's not the absence of students. The real problem is visibility and positioning. Students only choose the tutors they trust. Now let me show you something I call the invisible tutor problem. Many tutors today are talented. They have knowledge. They care about their students. They genuinely want to help people improve their English. But online, something strange happens. They become invisible, not because they are bad tutors, but because their profiles look almost identical to hundreds of other tutors. Students scroll through profile after profile. They scroll through profile after profile, right? Similar pictures, similar description, similar prices. From the student's perspective, it becomes difficult to see the difference. And when students cannot see a clear difference, they keep scrolling. That tutor becomes invisible. Now compare that with a tutor who is clearly positioned. When a student lands on your profile, they immediately understand who this tutor helps, what problem this tutor solves, why this tutor might be the right choice, why this tutor might be the right choice. Clarity builds trust, and trust leads to bookings. So the difference between a struggling tutor and a successful tutor is often not the teaching ability, it is visibility and positioning. Let me share something personal with you. When I first started tutoring online, I believed that my teaching ability alone would bring students. So I created my profile just like every other tutor and waited. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed. Sometimes I got a few students, but nothing consistent. And I started asking myself the same questions many tutors are asking now. What am I doing wrong? Then something interesting happened. One of my students recommended me to their community groups. Suddenly, students from that community started contacting me. Not only that, some of them were willing to pay higher rates for lessons. That moment completely shifted my mindset. Yes, it changed my understanding of online tutoring because I realized something powerful. Those students trusted me because someone they trust recommended me. In their minds, I was already positioned as a valuable tutor. And that changed everything. That moment made me realize something many tutors never discover. Students are not just choosing tutors based on qualifications. They are choosing tutors based on trust, perception, and positioning. After observing many successful tutors, I realized they follow the same systems. System number one is visibility. Students cannot choose you if they cannot find you. System number two, trust. Students must feel confident choosing you. This comes from your presentation, clarity, and communication. System number three, conversion. Once students see your profile and trust you, they need a clear reason to book. Successful tutors understand these three systems: visibility, trust, and conversion. When these systems work together, students begin to choose you more often. The reason I'm sharing all this with you is because many tutors never learn these systems. They try to figure everything out alone. They join platforms, they change their profiles, and hope something works. But that process can take months or even years. That is why I created something called the Unstoppable Tutor System. Yeah, this is a structured program where I teach tutors step by step how to position themselves so students can find them and trust them. Inside the program, there are 12 modules that walk you through the entire process, from choosing your niche to optimizing your profile to attracting students consistently. You also receive templates and resources that make everything easier. Now, here is something important. Because this is the first launch of this program, I decided to make it accessible to the first group of tutors who want to take action. So the early bird pays 10,000 francs CFA. However, this price is only available for the first 10 people who enroll. Once those 10 spots are filled up, the price will increase and enrollment will close for this round. I'm doing this intentionally because I want to work with a small group of tutors first and help them get real results. So, if you have been struggling to get students, if you feel invisible on tutoring platforms, and if you're serious about turning tutoring into a real income opportunity, then this might be the moment to take the next step. You'll find the enrollment link below in this video in the comment section. And if you decide to join, I look forward to welcoming you inside the Unstoppable Tutor system. Thank you for being here.